In a world with no light bulbs.
Hey guys, it's the Inner World podcast, which you guys probably have never heard of because it doesn't exist.
And we're starting it right now. Wow, you must feel great. You get to listen to the first ever episode of In a World.
Even though probably only our grandparents and close family will listen to this.
And maybe some of my friends.
Wow, I'm sure they're really happy about that.
Well, anyway, what we're going to try to do with In a World podcast is we're going to put up different things, that if like
Hypothetical questions.
Hypothetical questions, yeah. So like in a world like what we're doing right now, in a world without light bulbs, how would the world function? How would it go?
Yes.
And we're ready to go down any rabbit holes that we want to.
Yes.
So, are we gonna do it?
Of course.
Okay.
But first, we're gonna go back and forward with just our. Well, I'll let Micah do his thing first. By the way, his name is Micah. My name is Robbie.
Wow! If they watch any of other videos, they'd probably know that.
Yes, you can find us all around YouTube on Battlefront with Bros is just the two of us. Siblings Thrice is with our sister, and Christian Cuber is my personal channel that I do a daily series on.
And I occasionally feature. I can't talk. This is a podcast, and I can't talk.
Occasionally feature on.
Occasionally feature.
But anyway, I will let Micah go first with what he thinks the world would be like without light bulbs.
Get this, it would be kind of dark.
The world would be a dark place.
It would be a darker place, and I'm talking about light, not actual like darkness, like evil kind of darkness. I'm talking light, as in, light bulbs.
No, really, is that what we're talking about?
So if they were never invented, we would still probably keep up with the regular stuff that we had back then. Like we used a lot of lamps, gas lamps, and stuff like that. And
my stomach decided to make lots of noise.
And, it would be different because it'd be a whole lot more fire. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Fire would be a main thing.
Hazard.
I feel like there would be a lot more fires as it goes. Like, just like fires that are started, and I feel like it might, put people in danger.
Well, I feel as if we were to rely on fire that much, we would start to develop technologies to protect us from.
Yeah, I guess that's
fires.
True.
We would put more effort into discovering ways to contain fire.
We also get this. We wouldn't have TV.
That's
or phones or any of that. Well, phones maybe. TVs use light bulbs.
Nothing with screens. No screens.
Yeah, no screens because they all use light bulbs.
Yes.
Unless of course we made like a fire screen.
Fire screen.
Fire screen.
There's an idea for all of you technology developers. Try and harness the power of fire in your phone screen.
Warning: the battery may die really quickly because it's on fire.
Yes. At least you'll get 2 or 3 seconds of good processing.
I think that's what they were trying to do with those Samsung phones that blew up. They were trying to use fire screen technology.
It was the prototype of fire screen.
Yeah.
Now, then you wouldn't have to worry about firewalls.
Yeah, I mean, you could just burn. You just burn right there.
You just security would be a breeze. The firewalls come built into the phone.
They're like
it melts a few seconds later, but at least you got a couple good seconds of security and screenage. I think that's the correct word.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with him. I think that the advancement of fire technology would be like huge.
It would be much greater. The technology would be much better.
It would be cool. I think it would be cool to live in a world, like just to see, not necessarily live in a world without light bulbs, but to see it. Like, what would their rooms look like? Would there be like some fancy fire contraption up in the ceiling?
I feel like there would almost be like a pillar of fire in the middle of the room.
Pillar of fire.
Protected by something.
No, really. It's like, hey, Dad, what's that? Oh, that's our pillar of fire. It keeps our house lit.
And warm.
Touch it?
Oh, no, see, kids wouldn't be as dumb. They wouldn't touch fire.
Fire safety.
They would learn fire safety at a very young age.
Smokey the Bear would be really popping.
Oh yeah, Smokey the Bear. Only you can
All
prevent forest
those kids would
fires.
have Smokey the Bear posters in their rooms.
Dude, Smokey the Bear would be
Oh yeah,
he would be a hero.
yeah. I mean, like, man,
Oh, and
Smokey the Bear.
that's another thing. What would you do with all the smoke?
You you
Ooh,
smoke.
the world would become polluted
Oh,
over time.
that's true.
Unless
Pull
we
up
found a way to filter the air somehow with
fire.
fire. We burn the smoke. That's what would happen. We would burn it.
We find this special kind of fire that burns smoke.
Are you saying we'll discover different kinds of fire?
And instead of smoke, like instead of producing smoke, it produces water.
Produce a fire that
And
produces
it floats,
steam.
So like you see the
Floating fire?
smoke, and you like throw the fire at it, and then it makes a fire cloud, which then rains.
It rains fire.
No, it rains water.
Oh.
Destroying the smoke
Okay.
and raining water.
Okay. I feel like we'd have a lot more liquid smoke in stores. It's kind of hard to find nowadays, but
Liquid smoke.
yeah, everything would be seasoned with liquid smoke. That's
Yeah,
it's like it tastes smoky.
I use liquid smoke in all my cooking.
Yeah, all of it.
Head down to your liquid smoke store.
Yeah, there would be liquid smoke stores just everywhere.
Get the Starbucks, the liquid smoke latte.
The liquid smoke latte.
Oh
I feel like that would kill you.
It's a big hit, liquid smoke latte.
I feel like if you were to drink liquid smoke, you would just die.
Then why are you seasoning your food?
Or you'll
with
get like
it?
black lung or something.
Why are you seasoning your food? So are you saying
No,
like
it's used for
what they're
seasoning.
gonna do is they're gonna like smoking is really gonna take off because it's gonna be done in liquid.
No, you can't smoke liquid smoke.
Sure you can. You swish it around your mouth and you spit it out.
That's what they'll use for mouthwash.
Oh yeah,
Smoky,
smoke.
smoky eyes, smoky mouth.
Burns, burns right through all of them germs.
Yeah, you won't have problems with bacteria anymore. You just pour some smoke on it.
Wow, we really are getting lost. We went from no light bulbs to
Okay,
liquid smoke.
Okay, should I try my hand at it?
Yeah.
So what I'm sort of envisioning without light bulbs, we would sort of I feel like people would go to bed after the sun sets, just period. Like they wouldn't bother.
I feel like they'd make a lot more out of I feel like people would be less lazy.
Yeah, they'd be more
because they'd have less time. They'd have to do everything while they can see.
Yeah, and they would be a lot more like I feel like a lot of sleep issues are happening nowadays because people can stay up really late without being bothered too much by it because there's a lot of light at night.
Yeah, I do that.
But with the fire, they
Wait,
would.
are you saying I have issue?
I am speaking to general people who happen to stay up late.
I like staying up late.
Yeah, it's fun, but I feel like a lot of people wouldn't have any sleep problems.
I think better at late at night. I don't think well in the mornings.
But I feel like we'd try and conserve our natural resources a lot more if we.
But I feel like we'd run out of natural resources a lot faster.
Yeah, with stuff to burn and stuff like that.
Unless we'd come up with some sort of like electrical fire thingy.
Electric fire
that doesn't use any like gas or like.
That's impossible, man.
Like gas or oil or something.
In order for there to be fire, there has to be
oxygen.
There has to be oxygen, a fuel, and then a spark.
The electricity is
oxygen,
the
fuel, spark.
Yeah, I'm saying like some sort of electricity thing that fuels the fire.
Okay.
So
then, you're saying like something that sprays pure oxygen while sparking it on fire to where there's a constant flame?
Something like that.
So like a gas hose that's...
Something that doesn't take our natural resources to burn an eternal flame.
Then we'd harvest the smoke from that fire to
make
more fire.
liquid smoke.
We'd also use it to season our dishes.
Yeah. Except for it wouldn't be liquid smoke. It would just be like in a bag. So what you do is you just hold it above your fire and you tie it. And you're like, hey, Jimmy, I got a bag of smoke.
Who's Jimmy? Everyone will be named Jimmy in the days where there's no light bulbs.
Yeah, without light bulbs, everyone would be named Jimmy.
Because they can't see what their kid looks like when they're born. So they're like, you know what? He looks like a Jimmy. Let's name him Jimmy.
And if they find out that it's a girl later, it's Jimmyette.
Jimmyette. Oh Lord. But anyway, outside of everyone would go to bed earlier, I feel like everyone would be a lot more productive because they get a lot more rest and that's a lot of people are lacking a lot of rest because, and that makes them sort of
Also, I see
tired.
I see people getting more like. I feel like people would have way more eye problems.
That's very true. With
There would be a lack of light, and your eyes strain when there's a lack of light, and you're trying to see things. So, I feel like there would be a lot more eye problems than we have today, and we have a lot of eye problems today.
now, before the invention of light bulbs, I imagine there were a lot of eye problems. It's just they couldn't do much about it.
What about before the invention of glasses?
Yeah, that's more what I was saying. Is before the invention of light bulbs and glasses.
But the glasses came up before light bulbs.
People like me who were sort of screwed in the vision, who were sort of visually challenged. Not visually.
He's got those nice Nike glasses.
You'd have to go and you'd have to live with it. You'd have to be...
actually, a lot of times, if I've done my research properly, people who went blind, a lot of tribes and different cultures would just kill the people who went blind because they couldn't work properly. They couldn't take care of their family or anything, so they weren't important to the society. So they just kill them.
I have a feeling that happened a lot more in the past because there was no way to deal if you were. Like with me, I'm not going blind, but I'm losing the ability to focus.
It's like I'm turning blind to me.
I'm losing the ability to focus both on my tasks and on my vision.
She was like, "Hey man, what are those brown fuzzy things outside?" And I said, "Those are trees."
What are those fuzzy brown things? Those are the smoke pillars. Don't worry, they'll turn into liquid smoke once they hit the atmosphere.
Oh yeah, no. What we'll do is we'll make this like dome.
A dome, the Wonder Dome.
Like this double layered dome around the world that like it releases all the smoke into the middle between these two layers.
So you're saying
of
it's
this
like
dome.
It's like a Smokish the Bear sandwich. That's what you're saying. The world would become
so there would be like
the Bear sandwich.
metal, and then space outside of it, and then inside of that there would be all the smoke, and then there'd be another metal panel, and then there'd be us.
Metal.
We
bake. The sun would bake us.
No.
We'd turn the earth into an oven.
Okay, greenhouse effect all the way.
Yes, we would all die. Everything would just light on fire, which I guess wouldn't be a problem because then all of us could see.
Yeah, we wouldn't have to deal with light bulbs because everything would be all on fire.
I feel like another thing that would happen is someone in the future, if they still use the same government systems, I feel like someone in the U.S. would dress up as Smokey the Bear and run for president.
Smokey the president.
Smokey for president.
Smokey for president. Actually, no. See, what would happen is the moment they realize, wow, fire technology is becoming huge, they just got this president. It called him Smokey the Bear. Then completely destroyed the entire government as we know it. And then there is the king.
They just toppled. They toppled the government and turned it into a monarchy.
Yes, King Smokey the Bear.
King Smokey.
King Smokey.
All hail King Smokey.
That's what this should be. This episode should be called. All hail King Smokey.
Yes. So you said that in this theoretical world without fire, there would still be electricity.
Without fire?
Or no, without light bulbs, there would still be electricity.
Well, yeah, there was electricity before light bulbs.
Well, yeah, but you're saying would technology still have advanced this much without light bulbs?
I feel like a lot of things we have, look at that shredder over there. We'd have that. That doesn't require light bulbs.
See that paper shredder over there? We'd have that. And boy, wouldn't that be useful.
We'd have speakers. We'd have stuff like that. We just have to do it in a different way because we wouldn't have any light bulbs. We wouldn't. That's why I said we wouldn't have any like TV.
Yeah. Although I feel like something that would happen eventually, someone would invent the light bulb.
So like it's an unavoidable.
It's an unavoidable invention because when wires heat up, they light up, and someone would catch on to that very quickly after technology.
Yeah, but it took like 1,000,000,001 tries.
Yes,
to invent the light bulb.
But that's just to get the idea of the light bulb has been around for a lot longer than the light bulb has been around.
Because electricity originally, they found it out by seeing lightning. Lightning was the original thing.
They found it out?
They found it out. My lovely. So basically, and they would know, of course, lightning, is bright. You see it.
Lightning is bright.
It lights up things. So why can't we do that essential thing? Like, and not essential, but
essential.
Essentially the same thing.
Why can't we do that essential thing?
It's essentially the same thing, just with I feel like it's an unavoidable.
Yeah, I feel like it would be an unavoidable. Basically, what I'm saying, in a world without light bulbs, it wouldn't be without light bulbs for long.
So we're saying this is our in a world without
our
light
theoretical
bulbs,
world probably wouldn't get to.
It'd collapse.
It probably wouldn't get to Smokey. All hail Smokey. It probably wouldn't get that.
We wouldn't get to King Smokey.
But in a world where they never discovered that wires light up when you.
So you're saying in a world without light bulbs, we wouldn't have electricity?
Yeah, I'm saying if a light bulb were never to exist, there would have to be no electricity.
But I feel like electricity, even more than light bulbs, is an unavoidable discovery.
Yeah, that's why in a world without light bulbs would never exist.
In a world, yeah. In a world, and if it did, it would collapse.
Yes, if it did exist, then it would very swiftly collapse.
But, all the scientists, King Smokey would just lock up all the scientists.
King Smokey would...
to make sure he stays in power.
It's the Smokey scandal of 2020.
It's the Smokey scandal of 2020.
There's a headline for you. Or no, they wouldn't have paper.
Why not? There was paper before electricity. The printing press came out way before electricity.
Yeah, but I feel like
way before.
All the wood would get used for fire. I feel like they would conserve it.
But it's the bark of the wood.
All the trees will be shaved.
Yeah,
there'll be tree shavers. That'll be the job.
What they'll do is they'll invent this thing and they'll climb up ladders. To get to the top of the tree. And
how do they get the ladders?
It's like super weighted. Oh. And they just drop it and it shaves down all the bark.
A blade that drops straight down.
Yeah, so you'd have to get up at the top of the tree and just go shh, and it cuts all the bark off.
Cuts through like butter. So that'll be in the newspapers if we have newspapers. There will
Sponsored by Singing Smokey.
No, they'll be in the ad. It'll be called Smokish Times, or On Fire.
2022. We're running into Smokish Times.
but on the Help Wanted ads, there would be Tree Shaver.
Tree Shaver. Climb to the top. If you're good at climbing, we need you.
Yeah.
And if you're also like a weightlifter, because it takes a lot of lifting to lift the tree shaver to
all
the
you
top
have to
of
do
the tree.
All you have to do is balance this blade on your leg while you're climbing a ladder. That's as easy as
there's like a handle and you like stick your leg in it.
Maybe they use the blades to climb up the tree.
Oh yeah, like
so they like stab it.
It's like, but then it disassembles once you get to you have to put it together. Once
you have to put it together. What do you?
So it like
what are you hanging on to? You're like, if you gotta use two hands to assemble it. What are you hanging on to? You're just gonna.
I just thought of that. If you shave all the bark off the tree, like while you're shaving it, what are you holding on to?
No, they'll have jetpacks in a world without light bulbs because
they'll
have hot air balloon backpacks that'll float you up to the top of the tree.
Yeah,
that's what'll happen.
So if we have any artist fans, people. Do an artist rendering.
Fans? What do you mean fans?
Like fans of the podcast? Yeah, but I'm saying like for future thing. If we have any artists,
like 10 years from now, we'll receive a drawing.
Artists in our audience, please draw us this person with a hot air balloon jetpack floating to the top of a tree and dropping a tree shaver.
The tree razor blade.
And then also somebody make us a
Hail Smokey.
All Hail King Smokey.
Hail King Smokey. A poster or something.
Yeah, like a poster.
Hail King Smokey.
Well, we might make one.
I'm probably going to end up making one right after we're done with this.
All Hail King Smokey. So, jumping back a ways, I thought of this and we kind of went off on the King Smokey.
Yeah, we got stuck on King Smokey.
There would be a lot more games invented for the dark.
Yeah.
Kids would be like, hey, it's dark, I can't see, and all I've got is my 2-inch match. What do I do? And they'd invent these games that you can do in the dark.
Like when I was 2.5, I received my first match. so I
Yeah.
could have fun with fire.
Yeah, I mean, fire would be an essential part of the world. Fire would be. That's why
It would
King
be the
Smokey would be so powerful because he would
he
control.
controls
He
the
controls the
he
fire.
who controls the fire controls
Controls
the
the
world.
world. Yeah,
Hail
he.
King Smokey.
Oh, hail King Smoke, King of the world. He's not just King of America. In case you
He just
you thought he was King of America, he is King of the world.
well when we were talking about it, we said overthrow the government, so it would
He
only
overthrows all
he
government.
overthrows government in general, just the
And he
entire.
chooses Australia because they're pretty peaceful. He sets up his is basically just his palace in Australia. Australia is his palace.
What would his palace be made out of? Liquid smoke.
Liquid smoke.
That was condensed into a block.
Oh, this is smoke blocks.
Yeah, that's what it'll be. It'll be. They'll figure out a way to dehydrate the smoke without
Some smoke blocks.
dehydrate the smoke without it floating away.
So wait, you're saying you take the gas, gas smoke, and then you can also we have a system that can change it into a liquid and into a solid.
Yes, we are able.
We are able to change matter into different things.
We are able to change the state of matter.
So we figure out in a world without light bulbs, we have figured out the technology to change the state of matter.
And a guy in a bear suit has overthrown the world. So, that's a plus.
This world might collapse now that I'm thinking about it.
No, we already said that. It will collapse.
Well, no, not even like if this was a sustainable thing, if Smokey would not stay in power for long.
Smokey's like, oh darn. No, see what would happen? His palace wouldn't be made out of dehydrated smoke blocks. It would be made out of
fire.
fire.
Fire corn.
It would be made out of charcoal.
Charcoal.
We'd have a lot more charcoal laying around. There'd be a lot more grills.
No, we'd want to save the fire for more important things.
Well, cooking the food. What would you cook the food on except for fire?
Well, we'd eat it all raw. We've gotten an immune system. We're now immune to every meat raw.
We're immune to every disease.
Every disease. Yeah. In a world without light bulbs, we're immune to every disease. What we should do in the description. What we should do in the description is we should make a list with all these things that we've said in a world without light bulbs. There would be. So at the end of the description, if anybody looks in the hot air balloon jetpacks, liquid smoke, solid smoke.
There would be solid smoke, and there would be matter altering technology.
Smokey the Bear would overthrow the government.
No, it would just be a bullet point that says "All hail King Smokey."
All hail King Smokey.
And there would be a lot less forest fires.
No, I feel like there'd be a lot more. Smokey would be so worried about keeping power that he would forget about forest fires. In fact, he would start forest fires in the countries that didn't. That's how he keeps his power. He starts the forest fires, and he says only you can prevent forest fires by listening to everything I say. But yeah, so. I feel like
we've covered just about everything. Well, not just about everything. There'd be a lot more to cover, but
let's just sum up everything. In a world without light bulbs, the government would be overthrown by a bear.
And there would be lots of other technologies. And
we would have to develop new technologies that wouldn't be there previously.
We would harness the power of fire.
Yeah, there would be like way more fire technologies. I feel like fire would be, yeah. In a world without light bulbs, fire would be the thing.
Yeah, it'd be the new hot topic.
Get it? New hot topic.
I bet you they didn't get that, Micah. So why don't you explain the joke to them?
Oh, well, you see, fire is hot, and hot topic. Fire. In case you didn't catch that.
There would also be a vast majority of punk rock bands called Hail King Smokey.
No, that would be like if you went onto any like music app, the top rated songs would be All Hail King Smokey. Around. All Hail King Smokey.
Oh, that's what it would be?
Yeah. Oh. Like every song, he would make everything about him. Only you can prevent forest fires from making every song called "All Hail King Smokey," and all be about you guys listening to everything I say.
I feel like smoking wouldn't exist in a world without light bulbs.
How do you come by that? I feel like smoking would be bigger in a world without
No.
light bulbs.
I feel like smoking would be outlawed. It would be a waste of natural resources that they can't afford to lose.
But
They would outlaw
Smokey the Bear.
only King Smokey.
No, King Smokey wouldn't inform the countries that he wanted to, get rid of this fact, and he'd let them all get lung disease, and that's how he
would all
controls
get lung disease.
That's how they control the population.
He would poison.
That's how he controls the population.
What?
Overpopulation is fixed.
So basically what we're saying, in a world without light bulbs, a bear will overthrow the world and control everyone by killing them off with smoking. Basically, this is a public service announcement saying don't smoke, kids.
Yes,
it's
don't
bad
smoke.
for you.
It's bad.
Even
We
if
do
you
not
get
support-
cool liquid smoke out of it, you're not gonna. Your
We
friends
do-
aren't gonna like your liquid smoke. They're probably gonna die if they try
They're
it.
gonna be like, man, that's not cool. You're killing yourself.
No, by that time, Smokey would have already.
Oh,
They would have
okay.
taken them.
Oh hell yeah! All right, Smokey would have already.
They would have disappeared in a puff of smoke.
They would have. They would have disappeared. King Smokey does not sound like a good person.
Well, we're still shaky on whether or not he's a real bear or whether or not he's just a guy.
No, he's just the CGI.
He's a CGI holograms. No, they'll be called
he's an artificial intelligent CGI thing.
CGI.
over-
Is computer generated.
Yeah, it's an artificially intelligent computer generated image that can walk around.
It's projected onto all the smoke in the atmosphere.
Yes, there's so much smoke that they can actually, like, everywhere there's a constant amount of smoke. So you can project things and actually make 3D projections so much better because of all the smoke.
All you have to do to get rid of King Smokey is just take a vacuum cleaner. It'll be called Smoke Busters. That'll be the new hit.
Yeah,
hit
King
movie.
Smokey. Here's the next headline: King Smokey overthrown by Smoke Busters.
The Smoke Busters.
And then the Smoke Busters would move into government power.
If there's something
And
strange,
they'd be the ones to invent the light bulb.
yeah,
They'd let out the scientists who had figured out how to invent the light bulb, and then all of the world would be fixed. It would be exactly how it is
King Smokey
now,
would be overthrown.
except for we would
The
live
Dark
it,
Ages would
except
be
for
over.
we'd live in a utopia.
We'd live in a
Because
utopia.
all of the countries had been kept under King Smokey's reign, and we realized, man, we're not that different.
Everyone would be a better person.
We had a common enemy, and now he's gone. So now we can live together better people.
And then about 3 days later, there would be war.
Pretty much. So
War for power.
and-
It wouldn't even be 3 days. It would be like a couple hours.
here's the next one.
Couple
In a
hours.
world without light bulbs,
Yes, tune in.
there'd be war.
Tune in next time
Tune in next time.
for In a World Without Light Bulb Filament.
It's like, oh, we got the light bulbs, but we don't got the
We
filament.
don't have the filament. We just have little glass bubbles.
They're not even light bulbs because we take the fireflies and we put them in these little bulbs. Oh yeah, there's another thing. I think firefly light would be used.
Oh yes, firefly light.
I feel like we'd figure out a way to use
become-
firefly technology.
We'd
We would
inject it, and
we
we'd
would
become
inject-
bioluminescent.
Yeah, we'd become
produce our own light.
We'd become bioluminescent people. A bioluminescent race.
Once the sun sets, we glow.
we
and
glow,
and then the aliens will be scared and they won't invade.
No, then we'd become the.
We'd become aliens.
Imagine this. There are hot air balloon jetpacks.
The hot air balloon
there are tree shaving blade thingies, and everybody glows.
Everybody's just glowing.
And this is after the reign of Smokey.
After King Smokey has been overthrown.
Let's say this Earth tuned into an episode of the other world, like news, and they tune in and they're like, headlines: King Smokey's been overthrown.
This just in. King Smokey has been sucked up by a vacuum cleaner.
Really? I didn't think King Smokey was a real bear all along.
Yeah, I always doubted his realness, but I never wanted to say anything because I was afraid I would vanish in a puff of smoke.
That's what he did to people, but he's gone now. So we live in this this utopia for about maybe one more day.
What happened to your accent there?
It changed.
All of a sudden, he's from Smokey York, which is what New York is called now.
In a world without light bulbs, we make the accent. Our accents just all of a sudden change all the time.
Yes, they change randomly.
Good eye, mate.
All of a sudden, he's from Smokey's homeland, Australia.
Yeah. I'm originally from the Smoky Outback.
The Great Smoky Outback.
The Smoky Outback. The Smokeroos.
Let's not get into that. Let's just say thank you guys for tuning into this podcast.
Subscribe.
We hope you guys laughed as much as we did.
This was hilarious. If we have this much fun with all the rest of these podcasts, we'll continue doing them just because they're fun. And
Yes.
they're going to vary. This length is kind of short-ish for what I wanted to do.
We're just sort of beta testing this.
We're kind of vary it, but we're trying not to go over, around 30 minutes. So we're going to try to keep it around 30 minutes and maybe a little bit under, maybe a little bit over. We're not going to go until like the exact time.
Oh no, it's 31 minutes.
The podcast failed.
The podcast has fallen through, guys.
Yeah, we're just going to have to completely re-record it.
Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Be sure to subscribe to all of our YouTube channels.
Comment what you want us to talk about, like in a world without.
In a world
Comment.
without. In a world.
So just comment like in a world.
In a world
without dumbbells. So anyway,
that's a pretty heavy thought.
like, comment, subscribe.
You've already said that for like 3 times.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys.
Follow our social medias.
Yes.
Go to www.soundcloud.com/ChristianCuber.
Yes. Where you can probably find this podcast.
Actually, I don't even know if it's www.
It is. It's
Are
www.
we gonna put this on?
I think I'm gonna upload this.
No, we should start a new SoundCloud. It should just be like a solely SoundCloud podcast.
Okay.
Well, we put it on Siblings Thrice. Siblings Thrice and SoundCloud.
Until iTunes offers us a deal, we're gonna stay pure to the SoundCloud
And YouTube.
and YouTube,
So,
and maybe other media platforms. But
yeah.
to wrap up everything, I'm gonna end it after this.
Okay.
All of you guys need to go follow at All Hail King Smokey on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, SoundCloud, and Tumblr.
And Google Plus.
And Google Plus. Follow his Google Plus. That's the most important thing.
And MySpace.
Go on your Google Plus and follow All
And
Hail King Smokey.
MySpace.
I'm sure he'll be a great king.
Disclaimer, it doesn't actually exist.
We're about to see some parody accounts pop up.
Oh yes, people are gonna make accounts just after this. Anyway, goodbye. Tune in to us later.